Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole Spohr, and today I have a trio of snowflake gift tag ornaments for the Lawn Fawn Fawny Holiday Week. These super cute tags use stamps, dies, pattern papers, and more from Lawn Fawn. I love mixing and matching different items from many different years, some old, some new, to create these really fun tags. To create the base of each tag, we're actually going to be using the stitched snowflake frame and the outside in stitched snowflake, both brand new for 2021. We have die cut the frame from some Let It Shine pattern paper, as well as some silver metallic cardstock. And then we have die cut the outside in stitched snowflake from Lawn Fawn VELLUM. This is going to be sandwiched between the pattern paper and the silver metallic cardstock to create the base of our tag. Even that pattern paper circle is going to be used for each tag. We're going to layer it back behind the vellum, and it is going to kind of mute it a little bit to really make the critter shine, but then it's going to serve as a fantastic place to stamp our to and from to make this into a gift tag. We're combining different critters from both brand new, the Penguin Party stamp set, as well as previously released. We've got some things from YETI or Not, and also Toboggan Together. So from the brand new Penguin Party, we have the penguin with his sign, we have the sign pole, and then from Toboggan Together, we have a deer, and we're also going to stamp two of the long kind of Santa hat. We're going to use one for the deer and one for the penguin. And from YETI or Not, we have a YETI, a hat, and a scarf. These are the components we're going to use to decorate the front of our tag. First, I'm going to start by coloring in my images. I have some light warm gray markers that I'm going to use for the pom-pom and brims of the hat, as well as the stripes on the candy cane pole. Then we're going to take some red markers in our 24, 46, and 59 and color in our hats, or anything that's going to be red. So that's going to be the hats, the scarf, and the sign that the penguin is holding. And also the stripes on our candy cane pole. I tried to do anything that was the same color at the same time as much as possible, so I wouldn't have to alternate between my markers quite that much. Anytime I am doing a set of cards, tags, anything like that, I do try to streamline it and make it as much assembly line process as possible. Once we have this scarf colored in, I did take a white pen and I added some stripe detailing to the scarf to make it a red and white striped scarf. This is one of my very favorite color combinations for red. Whenever I am coloring, I think it really stands out and shows up so nicely. Now, even though I'm using a different pattern paper for each of my tags, they all tie together so beautifully. So we have the gray with the silver metallic, a white with the silver metallic, and the red with the silver metallic. There are other colors and other patterns in this paper pad, so you could definitely do any colors that you prefer when creating something similar. I chose this color combination. My tree in my living room is red and white, and my packaging all coordinates with this, and so I made my tags to match the wrapping paper that I already have on hand. I think these would also be beautiful in like pinks and blues, or greens and blues, or even green and red. You can definitely turn these into any color combination that matches your gift wrap. I also colored in the sign that the penguin's holding in reds. I really want the signage to show up, and because the penguin is going to be a lot of gray, I felt like red would show up a lot better. We're going to take some orange markers and color in the feet and the beak of our penguin. And then we're going to take some cool grays and color in the penguin and any of the detail on the North Pole sign. So two of the tags will have signs that we will customize before we add them to the tag. That's going to be our penguin and our deer tag. The Yeti actually doesn't have a sign. I felt like he filled in the area pretty well without it, so I opted not to try to grab something from a Lawn Fawn set to fill in that extra area. I'm just going to use some warm grays to very lightly color in the belly and face of my penguin so it still retains kind of that white look just with some shading, and then some R20 for the cheeks. For the Yeti, we're going to use warm gray markers. We're going to keep his fur pretty light, so just basically adding shading to give him some depth and dimension. And then his face, horns, and hands are all going to be darker shades of warm gray. I'm going to work to get a nice blend here. Add some little dot detail with my warm gray 3. He's so cute. I love the little underbite of his teeth. I have a little Shih Tzu who has an underbite and has 2 teeth that stick out a lot of the time, and so this really reminds me of my little fur baby. I love the dark facial features on the Yeti. It really brings his face to life. We will take the pink marker again and give him some little rosy pink cheeks from being out in the cold. I think that's a really fun finishing detail. We're going to use E40, 43, 44, and 47 for the deer. E40, 43, and 44 for the main part of the deer, and then E47 will be for the hooves. We'll also use a little R20 to pinken the insides of the ears and the cheeks. I love this little sitting deer. He's so cute. We're going to use our lighter colors on parts of the face and the belly. If the pink in the insides of the ears is a little too harsh, you can always go over it with a little E40 or 43 to mute it a little bit. I need to finish the rest of the areas on the sign. I think I went back in with a little bit more red and then also some of my dark grays. Dark cool grays, I should say. Then we are going to die cut everything but the images that have signs, because remember, we want to stamp and emboss those before we die cut. It's going to be a lot easier to stamp and die cut, or stamp and emboss, pardon me, before these little images are die cut. So I die cut almost everything else. We're going to grab some sentiments from Penguin Party. I'm going to grab North Pole for the sign. There's lots of different options, so you can definitely customize these however you would like. And then we will grab I Love You Snow Much for the penguin sign. I love these little decorative pieces. So something I always like to keep in mind when I'm creating gift tags is that I'm very aware that I would like for them to be usable after the gift is given. I don't want to create a tag that can just be tossed in the trash. I like to try to make them pretty and decorative enough that they can be hung on the tree by the recipient after the gift has been given. And so I like to keep like most of my text and stuff on the back, other than these signs, because I feel like that's part of the decoration here for these tags. But then the to and the from and anything like that will be on the back of the tag, but I do want to finish the back of the tag nicely so that it's still very pretty. So I'm just going to snip out the rest of my images here with my wire snip scissors, or wire snips, not scissors. I'm going to tape those in place with a little post-it tape, die cut these, and then we can start assembling our tags. For each tag, we have the front, which is from pattern paper, the middle, which is the vellum, that's the solid snowflake. So we have the frame from pattern paper, the solid, vellum, and then the back of each tag will be the silver metallic cardstock. So for our first tag, we have the gray pattern paper with silver metallic snowflakes. We're going to use some liquid glue and just kind of trace around the snowflake shape with our glue, and then layer that right on top of the vellum. For this particular tag, the YETI is a little bigger than I want to use. I think he looks really cute, like kind of popping up in the center of the snowflake. So I did trim off part of his legs so that I could kind of just very gently tuck him underneath the edge of the snowflake frame. And then I will take an acrylic block and kind of press that down in place to kind of flatten everything. I want to then give him his little hat and scarf. We're going to use a white pen to add some white pen detail to his cheeks and a black jelly roll pen to add detail to his eyes. I recommend if you want to add eye detail with a jelly roll pen, you do this after die cutting. Otherwise, the jelly roll detail will flatten out when run through a die cutting machine if you do it before. How cute is his little face? That pin detail just makes the face pop. Now I'm going to pop out the center of my silver metallic snowflake, and we're going to do the same thing, trace around the entire snowflake shape with our liquid glue, and then we will place this right on the back of our snowflake. This is going to disguise any of the adhesive. It's going to finish the back of our tag perfectly, and it just adds the perfect finishing touch. You could also just use plain white cardstock if you wanted to. You could use another piece of pattern paper cardstock. Definitely the sky is the limit. Let's go ahead and do our next tag. This is the red with the silver metallic snowflakes. This is going to be the deer tag. We're going to go ahead and trace around the entire tag shape with our liquid glue and place it over the vellum. A couple of other ideas I wanted to share with you. If you don't need gift tags, if you have enough and you don't need any for the season, but you like this idea, this snowflake is big and bold enough that it would be a fantastic focal point on a standard A2 size card, or you could take the entire trio of snowflakes and line them up horizontally or vertically on a slimline style card for a really cute holiday greeting. So, definitely keep that in mind if you like this idea, but you want to maybe make something a little bit different. You could also turn these into shakers if you wanted to. You could just straight make ornaments out of these. They don't even have to be gift tags. Lots and lots of fun things. Mix and match your critters. There are so many amazing holiday critters from Lawn Fawn. You could customize these however you want. I even think maybe doing like all of Santa's reindeer. You could do a whole bunch of deer tags, a whole bunch of penguin tags. The sky is the limit. I think it'd even be fun to do maybe like Santa and all the reindeer, because Lawn Fawn has you covered with anything you could possibly need. We're going to pop that silver metallic snowflake on the back. And again, I use my acrylic block as a great way to flatten everything and hold that liquid adhesive or until it dries. It just kind of helps keep it nice and flat. Especially vellum, it has a tendency to maybe want to roll up a bit. So my tip here, the reason I didn't mind gluing my critters in place is that I am placing that circle die cut from our snowflake right on the back. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back of the tag where the critter is and then secure the circle in place. We're not only going to be able to utilize the circle that way, and you'll be able to see a little pattern of snowflakes through the vellum on the front, but the back of the pattern paper is white, giving us a perfect place for stamping a little sentiment and adding the to and the from to make these into gift tags. This is my last tag. I'm going to go ahead and create this. It's the white with the silver metallic snowflakes. I think I have used every last scrap of pattern paper I had from this. I just absolutely love it. I need to pick up another one of these 6x6 paper pads because this is some of my very favorite. Go ahead and place the backer on here, and then we're going to place the remaining 2 backs on our gift tags before we do the finishing details. Now, these do not have any holes in them to make them into a tag at this point. So we're going to need to punch a little hole. That's why I'm saying if you want to add these to a card, you could go ahead and do that right now. I am placing the remaining pattern paper circles on the back, just like so. And then we're going to take a crocodile or a hole punch of some sort, and we're going to punch a hole in the top of each tag. I made sure and punched it a little lower than right up at the top, and I did that on purpose because I felt like it had a little more stability a little further down. And we're just going to punch a little hole. I already have my lawn trimmings twine prepped and ready. This is the red sparkle Lawn Fawn lawn trimmings twine. I absolutely love it. It's my very favorite. And then we're going to take our tags and we are going to place them in a MISTI and stamp some sentiments. So I played around with a couple of different things for sentiments before ultimately deciding on using greetings from the Say What Holiday Critters stamp set. So anything kind of cute and small. The reason I ended up going with this is I thought that the Little Merry Christmas was the right size, and then this has a to and a from in it, so I could kind of get everything I needed from this single stamp set instead of kind of mixing and matching. Nothing wrong with mixing and matching. I was just trying to keep it easy. You could do different sentiments on each one if you wanted to, but what I love about this is that you can put them in your MISTI and then simply swap out each tag and stamp them one after another. So we're going to use my very favorite red ink of all time, Lawn Fawn LOBSTER ink, and we're going to stamp the Merry Christmas and to from on each tag. By doing this in the MISTI, if you don't get a perfect stamped impression the first time, you can always stamp it again. You're going to see that here with my next tag. Just going to pop it in there and hold it down with the magnet. I didn't get the Christmas stamped very well, so I stamped it again. And how quick and easy it is to stamp these one right after another. Now that we have our greetings stamped, I am ready to thread through the lawn trimmings twine. I'm just simply going to thread this through the top of each tag, knot it, and that is going to finish that off. I will add some little heart accents. A couple of other ideas, you could always add some little jingle bells to the twine. You could add an extra little tag up here and do some layered tags, maybe with the recipient's name or something. Lots and lots of different ways to embellish the top, even some maybe little silk ribbon tied up here and then have the lawn trimmings twine for the hanger. That is cute. I'm going to take some little red clay embellishments and add them to each tag. You could also maybe do some little star confetti, snowflake little clay designs. I like the extra little pop of red. I did 2 hearts each on the Yeti and penguin tag and 1 on the deer tag to finish these off. Thank you so much for joining me today for this trio of snowflake tags for the Fawny holiday week. The supplies I used to create my tags are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring Lawn Fawn products that you might be interested in. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon members. If you would like to join Patreon, there is a link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.